Identity thieves can be anywhere in your email inbox, lurking on the dark web, or on data broker sites. They technically could even be watching this video right now. Okay. Anyway, with literally billions of personal documents and pieces of information floating around on the internet, protecting your identity isn't optional anymore. That's why today we are taking a look at LifeLock versus Aura, two of the biggest names in identity theft protection out there. By the end of this video, we'll see which one of these is worth your time and money and which one is probably charging you extra for things that should just come standard. I have tested both of these services extensively, and I will tell you my favorite pick by the end of this video, I promise. But if you want to get started with either of these services, please click the links in the description below. You will get an exclusive discount on both of these services, plus you will support the channel, which I greatly appreciate. Signing up for both Aura and LifeLock was pretty quick and painless. You pick a plan, you hand over your personal information, including your social security number, which I'll admit never gets any less ironic the more times I have to do it, and then answer some security questions confirming your identity. That's it. You're all set up. Both of them took about 10 minutes. And while neither felt sluggish, I will say that Aura started sending me notifications almost immediately, while LifeLock took a little longer to catch up. And once you're all set up, the dashboards were a bit of a contrast as well. Aura's was pretty clean and modern, while LifeLock took a much more traditional approach. Not bad, just different. Credit monitoring is one of those super important features that you typically don't really think about until you spot something suspicious on your credit report. Both Aura and LifeLock offer monthly credit scores and annual credit reports. But here's the catch. On LifeLock's basic plan, they will only monitor one of the three major credit bureaus. That's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Now, why is that important? Sometimes a lender will only check with one of the credit bureaus when setting up a new line of credit. So that means, let's say you're monitoring Experian, but a lender decides to pull from Equifax. If you're not looking at that, you might miss that fraudulent activity entirely. Now, by contrast, Aura offers 3-bureau credit monitoring across all of its plans right out of the box without any need for an additional upgrade. Another difference between the two is real-time alerts. Aura sends alerts faster than any other service that I've tested, while LifeLock, again, if it catches it, it takes its time catching up. Now, that difference actually matters. For example, someone once tried to change the email address on my teammate Brandon's bank account, and Aura sent them an alert right away. That heads up is a huge factor in how much damage can be done. Someone once tried to change the email address on my teammate Brandon's bank account. Back to the credit monitoring, with single bureau monitoring, there's a chance you won't even see suspicious activity before it's too late. Now, if you're paying for credit monitoring, why settle for a service that might miss something? When things like Credit Karma offer single bureau credit monitoring for free, you're already moving up to a paid tier, you might as well get the full coverage. And that is why Aura's 3-bureau monitoring gets my pick. Data brokers are websites that package and sell your personal information to anybody who wants it. And most people don't actually realize just how much of their personal information is just available and out there to be bought and sold. Aura actually does something about this by sending opt-out requests on your behalf to over 30 data broker sites without you having to lift a finger. They just start doing it when you sign up for their service. Now, LifeLock, on the other hand, will simply notify you that your information is out there on up to just 19 websites, and then they will often ask you to pay extra if you actually want them to remove it. When it comes to dark web monitoring, the difference is just as clear. In one instance, Aura found 15 dark web alerts for one of my team members, while LifeLock found 1. Yikes. In another test, Aura found 18 different dark web alerts, including the credentials to an old Gmail account being sold online, while LifeLock only found 8 of those same alerts and completely missed the Gmail breach. So if your goal is to know when your information is out there, Aura just plain does a better job. Let me tell you, I hate call centers, the ridiculous hold music, the robotic scripts, the constantly being transferred to different departments who happen to drop the call right when I think we're getting somewhere. It sucks and I hate it. So when I can get a representative to actually pick up the phone relatively quickly, listen, understand my issue, and fix it without me having to repeat myself 5 times, I I genuinely appreciate it. Both Aura and LifeLock have customer support teams that can get the job done, but I've noticed with Aura, the process is a little bit smoother. At Aura, I got through to a real person almost immediately. They knew what they were talking about, and they offered me additional help, useful advice, checking for additional fraud, and giving me extra tips like which credit bureau I needed to call next. LifeLock, on the other hand, while not bad, was also a bit more of the typical call center experience. A little bit of longer wait time, a little bit of a higher chance of getting transferred around, a bit of script reading at times. I also noticed one of the calls, there was just background noise on the other end of the line. It's just distracting and doesn't inspire confidence. But they both offer US-based teams for serious issues, but I found Aura's to be a little bit more proactive. They even called me back a few months after my identity theft just to check in and make sure everything was good. So if you're figuring out which one you want to be talking to, it's probably Aura. Now, I will still periodically be making test calls as we continue to just put both of these services through the paces. This is just what my team and I have noticed so far. Pricing for these services changes all the time, so we're just gonna flash the most current pricing on screen at the time of this video being published. If you want to check the prices on both of these services, click the links in the description below. Aura's pricing, that being said, is a little bit more straightforward with all of the features included on every plan. The only difference is how many people are being covered. And LifeLock's, by contrast, is a little bit more complicated. It looks a little bit cheaper at first, but most of its best features are hidden behind its highest paid tier. If you're already a LifeLock member and appreciate the Norton ecosystem, especially if you're using Norton's antivirus or parental controls, then sticking with it might make sense. LifeLock offers a solid suite of security tools, and if you're on one of its highest paid tiers, you get pretty solid coverage. But if you're signing up for identity theft protection for the first time, Aura is the better choice in my opinion. It offers 3 bureau credit monitoring across all of its plans, has data broker removal included, and more responsive customer service. Plus, it doesn't nickel and dime you with certain features that feel like they should be standard. Aura and LifeLock are both solid services. At the end of the day, I personally prefer Aura, but if you want to try them both for yourself, remember to click the links in the description below for an exclusive discount. That's all we have for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll hopefully see you in the next video.